Right, so I talked about what we see in 2009. The last couple of slides here says, what's going to come even beyond that? What am I predicting even beyond that? And a lot of it is really going to be what we call mashups. Mashups is taking the traditional telecommunication things that we do, whether it's voice calling or texting or instant messaging, and tying it together with web content, right? So it's really taking a lot of data that's out there in the computer domain, adding it with the telecommunications domain, and tying those together in more innovative ways. Location is going to become more and more critical, or not critical, more and more common. How many people have GPS devices in their home or in their car, like Garmin's or, yeah. So more and more, right? I mean, this Christmas, I think we were inundated with ads for these GPS devices. New cars, more and more come built with it. New cell phones will actually automatically have it built in, right? So most new phones now have a GPS chip in them. And so what that allows is, the GPS chip allows very high accuracy around your location. Even without GPS, it turns out, you guys might not know, but when you use your cell phone, or when your cell phone is on, it's actually signaling 3 towers at all times. And the cell phone and the tower will determine which signal is the strongest and have you connect to that tower. And so as you're walking or driving along, you're constantly sending 3 signals out. And based on those 3 signals, the network can actually triangulate your location within about a quarter mile. GPS will take you down to, within a few feet of where you are. So it just takes it even to the next level of accuracy. And so with that location, there's some unique things, or more innovative things that we can do. And I'll touch on that in the next slide. Actually, before we go to the next slide, I just want to touch on one more thing on the previous one. We're going to see a lot more machine-to-machine interaction. So you saw the surface computing, how your cell phone will talk to your computer almost dynamically. You put it down and it's automatically trading information. It's going to be similar in the home, right? As our homes get more Wi-Fi connected or even greater bandwidth. Late last year, the FCC opened up what we call TV white space. TV white space says that essentially in each neighborhood, there are channels, TV channels or frequencies that are unused. So let's say, for example, here you might have channel 2 and then channel 5. And 3 might be public access. At least channel 4 is vacant. The FCC is saying, hey, you know what? People should be allowed to use that channel 4 to do some, innovative things in terms of broadband communications. And the idea, one of the ideas is instead of Wi-Fi, working at like 5.8 gigahertz, you can use this TV white space frequency. And as you guys all know about television, right, that signal travels a much greater distance than like our cordless phone will. And so the greater that, the lower the frequency, the greater the distance, and even the higher the bandwidth that can go. So the idea is, we can imagine that all of the appliances in our home, TV, set-top box, refrigerator, stove, all these things will be able to communicate with each other. Don't ask me what they'll say to each other, because other people will figure that out. We just enable these things to happen. Somebody will figure out what to do with it. So that's just machine to machine. The other thing with machine to machine is literally, there's a lot of people that predict that your cell phone will essentially be like your credit card. So if you want to take the train, you basically will, as you walk by, your cell phone will indicate who you are, and you'll automatically be billed. Similar to these toll road, iPad type things, your cell phone will have that built in. You want to buy a Coke from the vending machine, you stick your phone up to the vending machine, it automatically automatically get billed for it. Simple things like that your cell phone really will become your identity in terms of, your billing and all that, as a credit card. All right, now go to the next slide. All right, so here I have an example of this location, and this is something that we can do today. It's an example that we call geofences. And the idea is that Sally here signs up to the service, and she opts into the service, right? And she can do that either by going to the website or from her cell phone. She could go to the URL and sign into the service. So once she signs in, what happens is other friends of hers that are also signed in can now leave her messages. And so here's a map of New York. You can build it out. Next one. Her friends, peers or third parties, can leave messages tied to specific locations. So in this example, this guy Mike has said, hey, if Sally ever comes near this restaurant, I want her to get this text message on her phone that says, Sally, this is the best pizza place in New York. Now, she doesn't get it until she's near that restaurant, right? Or this store says, hey, all the people that have opted into the service, if they're within a couple blocks of my store, I want to send them this 30% off coupon. You just mentioned this code. So let's see how this plays out here. Right, so Sally's moving around the world. She's moving to New York. As she comes close, boom, she's going to get a text message on her phone. So you can go that one more, right? So just like that, text message from Mike. Now Mike had left this message, maybe a month ago in the system. And it's not just for Sally. He could have said, hey, any of my friends that come here that are part of my network, I want them to get this text message. So similarly, then, let's say after pizza, Sally starts walking around again. She comes within the store, she's in the store, boom, she gets another text message, 30% off at the store if you come in now. All right? So that's an idea of location. Other ideas people have are things like, tracking your children. They say that after school they're going to go somewhere. Well, via their cell phone, you kind of know where they're going to be. You can actually track their location. Some people say it's going to be the opposite. It'll be more of a parent tracker. The children will be partying and they'll be like, oh, mom and dad are on their way back. Let's clean up before they get in the door. So it could go work either way, right? My last slide. So this is one, what I'll call, crazy idea for where things are going. And so what we see here is, this is a guy driving down the road. It's combining lots of different things with navigation, cameras that might be out and about in the real world, mapping, location, and this kind of display technology. So this guy's driving along the road. You can see he's driving pretty fast. He's going about, I don't know, 80, 90 miles an hour. He's going pretty fast. Shows that there's a Starbucks coming up, so if he wants to, in this profile he says, hey, I want to know where all the Starbucks are as I'm driving along, so that shows up. He's got the weather, up here in the corner of his screen. He's got some location stuff. He's following a map. I think he's signed up for a dating service, and so much of this woman. So it says Jennifer, age 23. If you want to wave to her as you go by, she's actually right there in front of you. He's talking to somebody as he's driving, but hey, his hand, he's not on his cell phone, so that's maybe a little bit safe. I don't know, but he happens to be eating a candy bar while he's driving, so a lot of stuff going on. Will this ever happen? I don't know, but there's a lot of things we're already doing as we drive, so you never know where technology could go. So I wanted to end with that. So hope that was useful to you guys. I wanted to give you a view of where things are going, what we see, what the trends are, and what's really driving us to build more and more bigger, fatter pipes, but in a way that's green and clean. So thank you.